Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. My name is Echo Fang Grey Wolf. Okay, so this is very important, all right? If you haven't watched any of my other videos, good. You need to watch this one before you watch them anyway. First and foremost, understand that 1,000 things can go wrong in a fight before one thing goes right. And you can accidentally kill somebody with martial arts without even trying. Now, a lot of other martial artists have not had this discussion with you. So I'm going to have this discussion with you. And this is just one. I may do a live TikTok or a live Instagram about this later today. Don't know when, but later today. If you're watching this, then it's probably already happening as you're watching this video. But for the moment, let's say that it's not, and this video is just popping up. There are many different lethal ordinances that you can be taught in martial arts. How to break an elbow, how to break an arm, how to break a kneecap, how to break a leg. You know, those things can also happen by accident, which is why I never tell people that you should use a spinning back fist, because a spinning back fist can lead you to a broken elbow or a broken forearm, depending on who you are fighting. You do not know who you are fighting until the first punch is thrown or the first punch is received by you. If you can get up after taking somebody's best shot, or if you don't go down at all, then that person has to put that work in. However, you don't have to beat somebody to kill them, all right? I'm going to have to reword that if I go on TikTok. But you don't have to beat somebody to unalive them, and you can accidentally kill someone with martial arts. Do not think because you are an expert or because you are not an expert that accidents do not happen. They happen all the time. Freak accidents kill people all the time. You may not have meant to done it. He might have missed the mark, and you caught him in the throat, and he died because you snapped his larynx, his windpipe. Let's call it the windpipe, because I'm not biologically, genetically correct. I don't think I am anyway. I'm also not a doctor. I can play one on TV, but I can't do the doctor talk, so I probably have to be a psychiatrist. Anyway, let's get real. There are 365 pressure points in the human body. 250 of them will fuck your shit up, possibly kill you. So certain martial arts should not be taught to certain people. And I don't want to discriminate. I'm not talking about race of people or gender of people. I'm talking about people who are bullies, people who took martial arts just to fuck people up. All right? I am not one of them people. I took martial arts to fuck people up because I'm small and I am a target. And I had to learn lethal ordnance to protect myself from people who are bigger and believe that size matters. All right? Size matters in somebody's head. Size mattering is an ego thing. You know, your ego can easily be knocked the fuck down. Because no one's taller than the last man standing. All right. Now, I teach lethal ordnance in my videos. If I tell you to hit somebody in a certain spot, it's because I know that that's lethal ordnance, and I know that someone is going to get hurt real bad. Or the alternative, someone's going to be unalived. Which is what martial arts was actually designed for. Before it became a sport, it was all lethal. Every bit of it was lethal. When it came to America, they dumbed it down. When it became a sport, they dumbed it down some more. When it became a showman's martial art, they dumbed it down some more. Now, let me break that down to y'all, because I'm probably thinking, you guys are thinking, what the fuck does he mean? Okay, so let's begin. When judo, taekwondo, and sumo wrestling became Olympic sports, they had to take all the lethal ordnance out. Yes, sumo wrestling is dangerous. You may not think it is, but it is quite dangerous being slammed by a 400-pound man. Judo is quite dangerous because if you don't land on your back properly and you snap your neck when you hit that mat when somebody judo throws your ass, they've dumbed it down. They taught you how to tuck your chin so that you can land on your back properly. And if you're really good, then you won't get flipped at all. No, but this is the thing about being able to throw someone off of 1 foot versus 2 feet, okay? Because you can kick someone in the shin and judo through them. Of course, that's been taken out because of rules. No kicking in the shin. Now you just have to tussle until you can like throw their asses over. Same thing with jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is an offsite of judo, for those who don't know. That's what I was taught. I can be wrong. Jiu-jitsu could have came first for all I know. But I was taught judo first, and then standing jiu-jitsu. The shit y'all see today, only without going to the ground, and BJJ, which is Brazilian jiu-jitsu, which is jiu-jitsu, but now it has more ground game than top game, all right? If you can combine the both, you're an ace, all right? I'm good with jiu-jitsu. I can put you in a Fujiwara. I can put you in a Uganagi. Will they be perfect? No. Do I remember what they look like perfectly? No. But I can Google that shit, and a wrestler will show me. Anyway, that being said, I can also put you in a triangle and an armbar, all right? But those are jiu-jitsu as well as Brazilian jiu-jitsu. But the thing about jiu-jitsu is I don't have to put you on the ground to put you in those things. In Brazilian jiu-jitsu, I have to hold you on the ground and successfully keep you there and make you tap or snap. And here's the thing on that. In tapping and snapping, you can hurt somebody or you can unalive them. The thing about martial arts is that martial arts was never meant to be a sport. All right? Yeah, here we go. All you martial artists are going to come in the comments. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Martial arts was a way of war, i.e., the art of war. Go read the book. Martial arts became a sport when it became American. Straight up. Y'all might not want to believe that shit, and I don't care. When it became American, karate became a sport, judo became a sport, taekwondo became a sport, Brazilian jiu-jitsu became a sport, capoeira is not a sport, kempo is not a sport, kung fu is not a sport unless you count wushu, which is more of an entertainment versus a sport. I guess you can call it both. You probably call it more of a sport than an entertainment. Yeah, you see the girls and the hair whipping. Yeah, I'm a little dizzy now. But you get the gist. A lot of martial arts that have become sports, they have taken out the lethal ordnance. When taekwondo became a sport, you see how quickly people rose through the ranks of taekwondo, but they left a lot of the essence off. But that happens in all the sports. The martial arts become a sport. Aikido is more of a sport versus an actual art now. There are Aikido tournaments. There are tournaments in damn near every martial art. All right, let's not even try to name them all. But there are tournaments in all of them now. But when it became a sport, it lost the purity of its essence, which is the art of killing without weapons. Weapons are a part of martial arts, but again, you can accidentally kill someone with a weapon without even trying. They might just walk right into your practice field and you just take their head off with the hook swords. You know, it does happen. It's not an intentional thing, but if someone sees you working out and they don't wait for you to finish and they decide to walk over there and you're in mid-swing, you can't pull that swing back with the hook swords. You can't pull that swing back with the 3-section. You might be able to pull it back with the nunchucks. And, size aren't really a thing. Commas, you're going to cut someone. Like I said, with martial arts, you can kill someone without even trying. And a lot of people don't preach that shit, which is why you have to be careful when you were doing a martial art. There is no ifs, ands, and buts about it. You have to be careful. You have to respect the art, and people that's around you have to respect what you're doing, because if they don't, they could be accidentally a victim of your art. And you don't want that. But shit happens. I have accidentally kicked people without trying. I've definitely hurt my father by accident when I elbowed him in the face when he snuck up on me, which beats what I was also taught to do, because his hands came across my shoulders. So all I saw was this. So you can't see it the way I see it, but all I saw was his hands. It did not dawn on me that he was the only other person of color in the house, because we were at my stepsister's house when her daughter was really young, before her second daughter was born. And I had just hugged my stepmother. And I stepped back, and she didn't even give me a signal that he was there. And before I knew what happened, I was 23. This is well over 20 years ago. And my elbow just said, wham! And all I heard was, And I look back, and my dad bleeding, and I split his mouth around his front teeth all the way back past his canine to like molars and shit. And he had to stay like that for like 3 fucking days. Yeah, he was jacked up on Ambisol because the dentist was closed when this happened. You couldn't go to the hospital, for a dental job. So maybe you could, but I don't know. He didn't want to go, so I felt bad that whole fucking weekend. And from that point on, I've always told people, don't ever walk up behind me. I won't be held responsible for what the fuck happens to you. Now, what I was taught was when 2 hands go by you, you grab the wrist, you put their elbows on your shoulder, you pull down and pop up. And that should break their elbows. Should break their elbows. Not guaranteed. But I'm glad I didn't do that. I'm glad I whipped my reflexes and I elbowed him. I didn't kill him, thank God, but I could have. What if I would have been a little higher to the nose? What if I would have been a little lower to the throat? These things, the younger you start, the more your instincts take over. And your instincts and your reflexes are honed from a young age. I started when I was 7. But prior to that, a year before, I had been street fighting since I was 6. And then as I got on, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's 7 years of training. Well, 6, 7 years of training, plus fighting. And then I just found more martial arts to do. By the time I was 15, I was taking Taekwondo. By the time I was 17, I had done Kempo. I did a little bit of Aikido. I did a little capoeira, bound fighting, all kinds of other shit, And you live and you learn, and you become a sponge. But what you need to know is that with martial arts, you can kill people without trying. You literally can kill people without trying. And when it became a sport, they took out a lot of the lethal ordinance with the rules, no hitting in the crotch, no eye gouging, no striking behind the ears, no striking to the temple, no trying to break their nose into their face, no trying to stop the heart with a flat palm strike to the chest. I don't know if that works, but, there's always a possibility. The thing is with martial arts, as I end this video, you have to understand that you can kill people without even trying. When Wushu became a sport, it became a flash-in-the-pan sport. A lot of the movements from Peking opera are in Wushu. A lot of things you see Jackie Chan do are in Wushu. And when you go to Wushu tournaments and watch these Wushu trials where they're doing this thing, and you got those 2 famous Chinese girls that are doing this shit, and she's doing this, and this girl's, and then she does the butterfly, and then she spins back to her feet, then she drops on her back. It's very performative. But accidents can happen, and you can die. Understand that you can kill people with martial arts without even trying. And if your teachers and them aren't giving you the downside of martial arts, you might want to question their viability. I ain't saying question their teaching. Question their viability or their virtue, because I will teach a person how to kill, but they have to know when to use it. If you are a female and you are about to be raped, that's about the time you need to use it. If you are a female and you are pissed off at another female and y'all go to blows, you can go to blows, but that's not when you need to use lethal ordnance, unless this broad is bigger than you. And in that case, lethal ordnance is necessary, but you don't want to kill. You may want to hurt or maim them, but you don't want to kill, which would mean you want to break an elbow or a kneecap. And the reason why I say break at a joint is because those healing processes take longer than here. You break here, they're going to reset at the hospital, 5, 6 months, a couple of stitches, there may be some scarring. They're going to be okay. You break here, because I don't know if you guys can see this. See on my arm? See how this twitches? Let's see if you can do it right there. All right, you see right there? This controls the flow of that. So if you break that elbow, they're not going to be doing too much of this. If you put your hand on the bottom of your elbow, put your hand right here like this, and then do this. You will feel it right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. See how that works? See, there are a lot of things that can be taught that aren't taught these days. I have been blessed to learn martial arts from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. In the early 2000s, I just pretty much started practicing. And I don't have a belt. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't have a belt. But I've beaten black belts. So, am I great or are they horrible? That's always going to be the question. But see, here's the thing on the belt system. The belt system is a system of control. So, day one, you start a black belt as a white belt when you go to a new school, which is fucked up, but that's the way it is, because some schools, your black belts don't transfer over. Some schools they do, some schools they don't. I know you guys are thinking, how'd you get there? I'm going to prove a point. I can use your black belt against you by choking you with that belt. All I have to do is get it off your gi. All I need is for you to make a mistake. I did not take martial arts to earn a belt. I took martial arts to not get fucked up by people who know martial arts, or by people who were stronger than me, or bigger than me, who could fight better than me. I learned how to kill with martial arts, and it is not something that you should take lightly. Now, you all will probably look at this video and look at me and say, oh, you're 125 pounds of absolute nothing. You can do nothing. You ain't shit. And that's why I will win. Because you just underestimated everything about me. In the end, when you underestimate your opponent, you forfeit your life. Martial arts is not a game. It is not a joke. It is not a fucking sport. However, at that same time, and as hypocritical and contradictory as I'm going to be, martial arts is also a sport. There are at least 5 martial arts that you can classify as sports. Taekwondo, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and Karate. Those 5 right there I know for a fact are sports. At least 3 of them are in the Olympics. Taekwondo is in the Olympics. Judo is in the Olympics. Karate is in the Olympics. I do not know if Jiu-Jitsu or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu are in the Olympics. Because I do know that when the Olympics came on, Summer Olympics, when they have Karate, Taekwondo, or Judo, my ass is watching it. You know, and that's what I'd be waiting for. My Olympics is this, all right? Martial arts, gymnastics. That's it. My Winter Olympics is this. Snowboarding, ice skating. That's it. As far as down here skiing and all that, nope, I'm good. And the reason why I used to watch it all the time, until I see people wipe out. And then I start laughing, so I know that I can never go skiing. Because karma does not forget an address. And I got a whole bunch of skiing karma built up. I could probably go snowboarding. No, I can't go snowboarding because it's still on snow. And I have a whole lot of karma built up from laughing at people crashing and burning on skis. So trust me, karma doesn't forget an address. So you should be careful at the things we laugh at. In closing, I want to tell you one more time, just in case you missed it. You got to alive somebody with martial arts without even trying. Try to remember that when you are training. Do not try to injure your training partner, aka your punching bag. Do not try to forcefully hurt people with the skills that you have acquired. Martial arts is a self-defense. Is for self-defense. However, initially, martial art was the art of killing. Don't forget that. No matter what martial arts you take, all martial arts have the capability of killing people without even trying. And if you don't want to believe that, that's on you. But I'm going to tell you the truth, and you're not going to like it, because the truth is not always sugar-coated, all right? You can kill somebody with Kempo, just as well as you can kill anybody with Kali or Krav Maga. You can kill anybody with any martial art on this fucking planet if you are taught properly by the right people who know what the fuck they're doing. Just because you have a black belt doesn't mean you're going to beat everybody's ass. Lots of the people who are in the UFC don't have black belts, but they can beat everybody's ass. And here's the final thing. When you are in situations like the UFC or one champion and shit like that, it's a sport. You're fighting for money. You're not fighting for your life, at least not in the I'm going to die if I don't beat this guy's ass aspect of the shit. However, still a sport, and you are fighting for your paycheck. That's it. There are rules in place so that you don't die. You know, no lethal ordnance, no punching in the throat, no punching in the sternum. I mean, you can take a shot to the belly, but you can't like go too far up. You can take a shot to the chest. You can't use breaks. You know, you can't break knees, but you can use arm bars and shit, and they have to tap. Although I will say that shit didn't happen before Griffin when his arm got broken. He just beat the guy ass with the other arm. So, you know, he made history. Which you will do if you're fighting in UFCs and stuff like that. But in the streets, it's you and that person and everything around you. If I throw you into a car, it's a street fight. The car was part of the fight. The car didn't know it was part of the fight, but I knew it was part of the fight because I have to survive. I understand the difference between surviving in the ring in an octagon versus the streets. Two different aspects. Now, let me see. Okay, let's just keep going. I will say that here's the thing. Not all street fighters are going to get their asses kicked in the octagon. Not all octagon fighters are going to get their asses kicked in the street. If you got your shit together, you got your shit together. And you're going to be able to handle yourself wherever the fuck you are, making you a true martial artist. However, I'm going to say this 1,000 more times. There are no such things as superior martial arts. There are only superior martial artists in that art. But if you beat that martial artist that is superior in that art, now you have become superior in that art. There is an exception to every rule, and you might just be the baddest motherfucker on the planet, whether you are in the ring or in the streets. And like I said, you can unalive somebody without even trying with martial arts. Now, it's just not feasible that you can't. You know, don't think that you can't kill anybody with a small hit versus a large hit. Martial arts is not a joke, you know. For those who live it, for those who breathe it, for those who eat it, or those who sleep it and practice that shit whenever they fucking can. It is real for us. I never got the chance to be in the UFC because they didn't have rules at the time, so they say. That's bullshit. Because in 1993 I was 19 or 18. I don't remember. I was between 18 and 19. And email wasn't a thing. But you could use Jeeves or whatever to get addresses. And I wrote them a fucking handwritten note, put the stamp on the envelope, mailed it. They mailed me a postcard back. I no longer have it, because that was over 20-something years ago, which said I need to get my weight up. I can't gain weight. And now I'm not allowed to gain weight, but my highest weight has been 135, 140. And that was when I was in the Army. Because whatever was in the food, but, you know, I ate a lot of sandwiches. And now with my hip replacement, I was specifically told, you can't go over 125 pounds. So I'm at like 125, I think. I don't really know. We'll find out sometime today. Before I leave here, I'll find a scale. Anyway, that being said, I want you guys to remember that you have to be careful when fighting with martial arts. You have to be careful fighting other martial arts. You have to be careful fighting non-martial artists. And remember this also, that just because you beat somebody, don't mean you can beat everybody. Now this is where I become a hypocrite and say some hypocritical shit. Any given Sunday is a thing. And if you're not prepared, you will get your ass kicked. However, there's always that one lucky person that could just be lucky every fucking time. But fighting takes luck as well as skill, and it also takes endurance. So work on your cardio, work on your endurance, pray a lot, and learn to duck. And if you don't know how to duck, learn to roll with the punch. If it's coming this way, you roll with it. If it's coming this way, you roll with it. If it's coming up, try to jump up with it for the uppercut, but most of the times you don't really see those coming until they connect. And by then, your bell's been rocked. So, that being said, I'm Echo Fang Grey Wolf. You don't have to believe anything I say. It would behoove you to at least hear and listen to what I say, because I may have just saved your life without you even knowing it. But remember, you can unalive anybody with martial arts without even trying. So don't fucking do something stupid. That being said, I am Echo Fang Grey Wolf. This is Kung Fu Habit number 2. Be seeing